I'm Jordan, and welcome to Season 2 of Kitchen Witch, the show where any kind of magic can happen right here in the kitchen. Today we're going to make my take on Bavarian pretzels. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients you'll need to make this dish. In a large bowl, pour 2 cups of water. Add 3 teaspoons of dried yeast. Gently whisk until the yeast is dissolved. Then add dark brown sugar. Make sure it's 1/3 of a cup. Pour it in with your yeast mixture and mix until the sugar is dissolved. As your yeast mixture starts to foam up, cover it with saran wrap. Use a rubber band to hold it in place and let it sit in a room temperature space. Now we wait and let it sit for 5 minutes for the yeast to rise. What we're going to use is bread flour. The recipe requires 5½ cups, but we're going to start with 2. Pour it into the mixing bowl. Use 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Then mix your dry ingredients. Switch your whisk attachment to the bread hook. And now we're going to add in the yeast mixture. When you take off the saran wrap, you can see that it's all frothy and ready for our dry ingredients. Pour your yeast mixture in. Turn on your mixer and let it mix for a couple minutes. Now we'll add 2 teaspoons of molasses. It's okay to use your finger to scrape off the extra molasses into the bowl. We'll also add 2 teaspoons of unsalted butter. This will give the pretzels a buttery flavor. Now we're going to add in the rest of the flour from before. That'll be 3½ cups. Now we'll continue to mix until the dough begins to stick together. Next, we take the bowl out of the mixer and knead the dough for a couple minutes to get it into the shape of a ball.
3 teaspoons of corn oil, and knead it into the bread dough. Now we're going to take a damp dishcloth and cover the bowl. Use a rubber band to hold it in place.
Now that our dough is all mixed, we're going to let it sit for an hour to proof.
An hour has passed and our dough has nearly doubled in size. So now let's take it out into the dining room.
All right, so now we moved over to the dining room. And the reason why we moved out to the dining room is because not all of your cooking work is only gonna happen in the kitchen. Sometimes you wanna bring it out to the dining room so you can have more space to work with. And now that our pretzel dough has doubled in size, we're gonna first punch it out. Punch all the air out by using our fists. Use all your Herculean strength to do so. Now here's the reason why, when you knead the dough like this, what you're gonna do here is when you push out your hand like this and flip it over, that gets all of the air pockets out. And it makes the dough for much smoother looking texture. It's a lot of work, but in a way, it's what will make your pretzels taste even more divine. And the thing I love about baking is that I put a lot of love and appreciation and creativity into my cooking. And now, once your dough looks all like a smoothed out thing, you gotta give it the smack, the Will Smith smack. Keep your dough's name out your mouth, right? Who's your mama? You bad baby dough. Okay, now we're gonna move on to cutting it up into little rolls, and then we're gonna work the stretchy magic.
Cut your dough into 4 equal pieces with the dough cutter. Sprinkle your board with a little flour and roll away.
So now we have rolled out 4 beautiful bowls of pretzel dough, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna divide each of them into 4 pieces, and we're gonna roll them out into really long, slimy looking worm-shaped pieces of dough. And we're gonna fold them up into pretzels, and we're gonna put them on top of these trays right here. And it's gonna take a lot of time to do, so be sure to take your time with this. It's a very long, strenuous activity, but the end result is gonna be worth it. This is where the magic happens.
Another technique I would suggest is the jump rope trick. This helps stretch your dough to unbelievable lengths. Then, twist up your dough like you're tying your sneakers and add it to the rack.
All right, now that we've finished up creating all of our pretzels, let's move on to giving them the lye bath. Now, before you start asking, wait a minute, isn't lye considered dangerous? Well, the answer to that is yes and no. because it helps create the iconic brown color and it adds to the flavoring. Now, if you don't want to do that, a better alternative is using baking soda and then you boil it like a bagel, but it's not going to get the iconic, delicious brown color that we normally see on pretzels. So I'm going to show you how to make the lye bath and how to dip it in as carefully and safely as possible, and we'll be right back.
Use 4 cups of water and pour it into a mixing bowl. Put on rubber gloves before you handle the lye. Make sure it's for restaurant use and not for cleaning. Carefully add 3 tablespoons and stir gently until it's dissolved. Take 1 pretzel and lay it gently in the lye bath and count to 5. Then flip it and count to 5 again. The pretzel will swell up, so use a spatula to place it gently on the rack. Then do the same with all the others. Now that your pretzels are all dipped, sprinkle generously with sea salt. Turn your stove on to medium-low to melt the butter, just to use for later. Turn up the heat to 425 and put your pretzels into the oven.
So now we're gonna bake these pretzels for 15 to 20 minutes, and when we come back and when we take them out, we're gonna butter them up, salt them again, and they'll be ready for serving. All right, now 15 to 20 minutes have passed. Let's check out and see how our pretzels are doing. Ooh, steam. Now these look like they're just about done, so we're gonna let them rest to cool off.
Drizzle your pretzels with butter and shower them generously with flaky salt, and you're done.
And the looks of it, these are great pretzels. And even if they come out not exactly what you think they should be, all that matters is that you got some delicious snackage and they all look okay. Because food is still just food. It doesn't have to look perfect. So, other than that, snackage is served and hope you enjoy.
The recipe for this dish appears in the description below. Be sure to give it a try and let me know how you did it in the comments section below.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this cooking lesson. And if you want to see more episodes, be sure to hit that subscribe button to join my channel. So until then, thanks for watching. Happy cooking!